How's the knee doing? And you confident? Nick just sat here and said he's optimistic you'll be able to play Sunday. Where are you at with the knee?
We're just taking it day by day. Just taking it day by day.
Can you give any detail how it happened or when it happened? Are you aware of?
I think it's just things happen a part of the game. I've already said that it didn't happen in the game, so it's just something that we're dealing with day by day, taking it one day at a time.
What was it like playing with that brace? How restrictive is it?
I honestly wasn't thinking about it. I think the better question is how is it playing with a banged up, being banged up. So just trying to find ways to win.
Have you gotten, I don't know if accustomed is the right word, but you had the shoulder thing last year. You missed a couple games the year before that. Do you get more used to playing banged up? Does it ever get easier in any regard?
I don't want to make it bigger than what it is. I think it's something that comes with every player in this league. Things happen, and you find ways to overcome them.
Had you been doing anything in adjusting your game to try to avoid something like this?
No.
Like running, hitting, going down a little earlier on a scramble, or
I don't know that maybe the last thing I say about it. I don't know that I've ever been banged up as a runner. Everything comes from within the pocket, in which the illusion is, or the narrative is, that you run the ball more. That's not always the case. Not here.
Jalen, from an organizational standpoint, the team adds a two-time All-Pro this week. What's your reaction, and just from the perspective of the organization, ever surprise you that they're always in on everything that's out there? Because it does seem that way.
Yeah, I've seen different, just in 3-4 years. I've seen different versions of the Philadelphia Eagles, and I think now, I think it's we have a lot of great pieces, obviously, and I think we have a great culture and environment, and I think we have a lot of people that want to be a part of that, and I think that starts with leadership and obviously as a team, how we play together and go out there and battle. And so he's a great addition, and played against him last year. Heard a ton of stories about him from AJ, and I know he seems like he has a humble spirit, and he's a dog, and I know he was a leader of that Tennessee Titans team. So we just want him to bring his best here, and a guy with a good heart, good head on his shoulders. It seems like he'll fit in just fine.
Jalen, when you guys signed someone in the middle of the year, like Linval and Sue last year, and Roby and Julio, what's the role of the leaders to kind of embrace the guy and kind of, I guess, teach him the culture and just kind of acclimate him to being an Eagle?
Yeah, I think, a lot of those things they happen naturally. And I think there's one thing in this league that, it is what it is, and it's apparent through time. Obviously, I'm not going to say unfortunately, but reality is this is a result-based league. But people respect winning, and winning is the only thing that matters. So when you have guys that come in, or guys that coming onto the team in the middle of the year, before the year, or have an opportunity to be on this team, they take a lot of pride in that because they respect the things that we've been able to do and win. And so you got to do that every week in this league, because every week is a new challenge. And you have to obviously respect every opponent, but I know winning is very well respected in this league.
A lot of people talk obviously about your toughness, and it's pretty apparent when you watch you play, but where does that come from, the development of that?
I don't think it's any tangible thing I can lean on or call on from that. It's just who I am. It's where I come from, and maybe it's been instilled in me by my father, my parents, seeing the different things that I've been able to see as a child. Maybe those things.
This will be the first time you face an opponent for a second time this season. It's not that long ago that you played them. What can you take from the last matchup, and what challenges does that defense present?
You walk out on the field, they're well coached and they have an amazing front seven, and that D-line group is the best of the best in terms of the unit. And so, we just got to go out there and execute. We have to go out there and execute, eliminate negative plays, and go out there and play clean football. I think you talk about what it takes. It just takes great execution, and it takes everybody communicating and being on the same page, and that's a continued process, and it's always going to be a continued process.
If I could follow up on the toughness question, you mentioned stuff you saw as a child. What are some things specifically, and how does that relate to the toughness?
It's just being a ball boy. You see other people go through things. You're a little boy around high schoolers. You're a little boy seeing high schoolers get scholarships to go to college, and perspective of mine was very different at that point in time. And I think that is a lot of the reason why I maybe view things a little differently, or maybe have a different perspective on things, because I've had a different viewpoint of it, and it's all made me, who I am.
Did any injuries that you saw as a ball boy ever affect you, and see what they played through?
Yeah, I'm not necessarily correlating toughness with injury. So.
You mentioned playing clean football. Has there been any kind of common thread from what you've seen in you guys are turning the ball over a little bit more this season than you did last season? Is there any connection there amongst for why that's
No,
happening?
I think there are some obviously adjustments and changes that you go through, and I think that I've pointed that out throughout the duration of the games we've played this far. I think there have been some miscommunication, some crazy turnovers that have kind of happened. But those are all things that I control, and some things it seems like you can't. A tip ball, or the ball goes to a 3-tech off of a drop or something like that. But you try and really control the things you can control, and I think that's just how I'm navigating through it. Obviously, you look at the level of production in correlation. Everybody wants to compare to last year, right? We're statistically better, besides turning the ball over, and so we just have to play clean in that area, and I have to do a better job of that, and to continue to trend forward with that. I think the reality is we've yet to play our best ball, and we just want to keep going forward.
AJ is the offensive player of the week. He's also in a 5-week streak that is historic in the NFL. It's only a third guy to do what he's done with about 25 or more in 3 weeks. Did you notice when he arrived at camp this offseason, knowing him as well as you did, even a more motivated guy?
Yeah, I think he's an internally motivated person as is, and every person challenges themselves to be better than they were, and I think he's done that. I think he's gone beyond measures to take his game to the next level, and I think a lot of it's been mental. He's handled everything well. He stayed within himself, and he's really been eager to take advantage of his opportunities when they come. And so, just continuing to be that selfless player while being hungry and having a tenacity when this opportunity comes, and he takes advantage of them.
How much do you factor in your importance to the offense and to the team when you're dealing with an injury like this? Like, do you say to yourself, God, Yeah, I mean, I know it's important for all the starters to be out there, it's important for any starting quarterback to be out there, but do you say to yourself, you know, I am so much a part of what we want to do offensively that I better be out there or this thing isn't going to work the way it ought to?
Yeah, I think you know, the best ability is availability, and I think just from a leadership standpoint, you know, I don't think I always realize the role and the impact that I have on that. Because I'm just going out there literally trying to be the best version of myself and uplift the people around me, and that's just in my spirit and who I am. But when you hear guys, you know, acknowledge, you know, what you're dealing with or whatever that is, it's not something that I really want to talk about because the show will go on. And so, you know, we all go out there and we fight for one another. We play hard for one another. And we all got the same common goal. And so we just kind of keep it at that. And, you know, we're there for one another when we need one another. But obviously, we keep winning in mind in everything that we're doing.